Celebrating 10 years of Mission Sonlight, we are the media missionaries of Network 7 Media Center. This quarter, we are focused on projects around the Inter-American Division. The University of Southern Caribbean will be building a cross-mission center, and a new center of influence will be coming to Tabasco, Mexico. In the Eastern Caribbean, a new center of influence is planned on the campus of Antillean Adventist University in Mayagüez, Puerto Rico. In 1898, during the Spanish-American War, David Trail arrived in Puerto Rico as part of the military. Trail was the first Seventh-day Adventist to visit the island nation. He wrote to the General Conference requesting a missionary to be sent here as soon as possible. 2 years later, Albert Fisher arrived with his young missionary family to share the truth as it is in Jesus with the citizens of Puerto Rico. Elsewhere in the Caribbean, a small Cuban school called Antillean College was rising up. Nearby to the college, in 1958, the decisive Battle of Santa Clara occurred as part of the Cuban Revolution. Antillean President Walter Brown gave this account to the Review and Herald.
The battle took place in the last days of December 1958. Bombing had destroyed transportation routes, causing 200 of the college's students to remain on campus during the Christmas season. Across the road from the college was Central University. On Saturday, December 27, 2 barbudos from the Che Guevara column were posted to guard the college's building. They soon discovered that the college folk were not hostile to them. Charles Taylor obtained a sleeping bag. The 2 soldiers took turns sleeping in it. The college folk went to the university. They found a large number of rebels. The rebels were tired and hungry but friendly. They were offered cold milk from the college dairy. Che came over and spoke with us, requesting the school to provide food for doctors, nurses, and others who might be coming through during the next few days. When we indicated that we had a problem in obtaining milk and food, he indicated that the rebel soldiers would see to it that we received all that was necessary. At noon of that first day, about 100 men came in for dinner, and they stood in complete silence during the prayer for the food. On Wednesday, December 31st, the battle came to the college. They watched a bomber swoop past the university and heard a plane head for the college. It dropped its bombs on college land. For just over an hour, planes made machine gun attacks on the campus.
The full account of the faculty and student survival can be found in the archives of Adventist Review. Dr. Brown concludes his remarks regarding Antillean this way.
On the New Year's Day, 1959, it seemed that the college would be able to continue on with its program, as the new Cuban leadership allowed it to operate with no restrictions. However, 3 years later, after all other religious institutions had been closed or severely restricted, the new Cuban government closed the school, December 15, 1961.
That school relocated to what is today Antillean Adventist University.
Our institution offers a unique location and advantage to many students. We are located in the beautiful island of Puerto Rico in the Caribbean. We offer U.S. accredited academic programs, and that means that you can study where you want to vacation.
For the last 60 years, we've been sending pastors to Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, the Inter-American Division, and all over around the world. We have pastors in Asia, we have pastors in Europe, and we have teachers in Asia, we have teachers in Europe and in the Caribbean.
There's a need in the student to reconnect with God. And this island surrounded by nature really makes that possible.
Today, Antillean is inviting you to join them in another area of growth.
For the past 55 years, we have operated our church in a small chapel without a church building. That is why this building is so important for our institution. We want to strengthen the spiritual life of our students, of our employees, and we want to have a place where we can worship our Heavenly God.
In 2014, the university and campus church partnered with the conference and union to begin building on this $3.6 million facility. In 2017, the internal structure began taking shape, and one can now imagine the facilities and uses for the students, faculty, and church members.
The functionality of this building, I can say in threefold. Number one, is going to host the university church. We are building a church with 1,000 chairs. Number two is going to house the theology department. We're building the classrooms and we're building the offices for the professors. And number three, this building is going to house the Department of Spiritual Affairs and Spiritual Care.
Given the recent hurricanes, Pastor Rodriguez also mentions the value to the community for its shelter in perilous weather.
There is a fourth fold for the reason to build this structure. This structure was developed pouring cement and with a steel roof. And we want a solid structure because we want this structure to be a refuge or a shelter in time of hurricane and storms.
We have a chapel which only sits about 300 people, and you're talking about a student body of about 600, 700. We need to get this temple finished for us to have a place where we can properly come together and worship.
The church isn't only going to operate as a place to worship, but a place to delegate and train people who are going to be leading out in worship and be leading out in the fortification and the building of a new generation of people who want to serve and worship God.
When we want to think big, we go to the gym, which isn't necessarily the most spiritual place, and we try to make it into it. And every week of prayer, you consecrate it, and we do the best we can. But to have a church that will actually hold as many students as we have.
When I give to support a mission project, I'm more motivated to give when the locals have already given and contributed their time and resources to the project. As you can see behind me, the local church members have definitely gotten behind this church project to the tune of over $1.5 million toward the completion of their new church.
Many miracles have been seen through the construction process.
Here to my right, we have the mountain, and we had to move this mountain. In order for us to do that, we had to bring machinery to move the soil. The engineer told us, listen, it cannot rain because it's going to ruin the work that we have done. And we started praying for 3 days. It cannot rain. And it actually rains here in the construction site every single day from 1 to 4. That day it started raining, and it was so close, and we were so afraid. And the engineer and I, we started praying, Lord, we need your help. Stop the rain so we can finish the construction of our church. And God was so powerful and so merciful that He stopped the rain just maybe 200 meters from the construction site. I was there, I saw this.
We want to thank you for donating on this 13th Sabbath, toward our goal, our university church. We want to thank the worldwide church, especially. It's going to have an impact not only in our generation, but every other generation that comes to our university.
You have no idea what a difference you're making in each student's life by donating for this church. It's going to be a blessing, and you are part of it, and we want to thank you.
Thank you very much for helping us out towards this project.
Throughout the world, we want to thank every church member for their significant contribution to be able to build the Church of Antillean Adventist University.
And I want to thank the World Church for helping us build this church and investing in the gospel of Jesus Christ.
These Mission Sonlight stories you hear each quarter matter because they tell the story of the Seventh-day Adventist members united to worship and serve around the globe. Our corporate Mission Sonlight story began 10 years ago, thanks to the Seventh-day Adventist members across the globe who believe in and support missions, so we can keep telling the story of Jesus.
Being a media missionary can mean many different things.
It means the love of a home at the heart of the planet, the intrepid spirit of a village, and the vibe of a great metropolis. It means camera 1 and camera 2. It means transforming a school orphanage, or hospital. It means fire, rain, ice, and snow. It means gifts by the dollar and by the check. It means donations that roll and donations that fly. It's a movement on a trail or down a motorway.
It means family.
All of us together.
And individually.
It's who you are or who you are becoming. And to her, it's a simple gesture that means hope. Whatever it means to you, being a media missionary means more than you might think. From Network 7 Media Center, this is Mission Sonlight.